for the last time. Halloween is not canceled. Hi, it's me JD and welcome back to my channel. Now you all know I love Halloween. I've done not one, but 2 videos on how to make Halloween cards. First of all, who sends out cards during Halloween? This crazy lady. So when people are saying that Halloween is canceled, I'm like, really? So here's the dilemma. How do we safely celebrate Halloween and make it special in the middle of a pandemic? I say we put our thinking caps on. All right, so here's the mission. We want costumes. We want candy. We want it to be a good time. But we want it to be safe. That's when the idea of a Halloween egg hunt came to mind. Hear me out. Everyone can still wear their costumes. You put the candy in the eggs. You put the eggs outside or in your patio or in your house, wherever you find space. They still go out to get the candy. Everyone has a good time. Now, the idea of a Halloween egg hunt isn't new. It's been around the internet for quite some time now. So I just wanted to show you my spin on the idea of a Halloween egg hunt and perhaps show you some ideas that maybe you haven't seen before. Some people might already have Easter eggs somewhere in storage, and so now all you have to do is just bring them out and dress them up a little for Halloween. And here I show you multiple ways to get creative with decorating these eggs and making it an extra special, socially distant Halloween celebration. Even if you're not the crafty type, don't worry, just stick around towards the end of the video where I show you some super simple tips and tricks to get your Halloween eggs looking extra special. I'll see myself out. So sit back, subscribe, and let's make Halloween 2020 extra awesome. In order to decorate these eggs for Halloween, I wanted to test out some of the mediums and supplies I have in my crafty stash. So I've got some of my red colored markers and pens and paints, and then I have 2 styles of eggs, one that's shiny and one that's more matte. These are the eggs that open up so you can put candy in the middle like so. So you can use these for Easter or Halloween. First up, I'm going to use my paint marker. I use these paint markers with my kids to paint rocks, and so I thought it would work really well on the egg, and you see there with the heart, it really does come out nice and opaque. The second one is a Crayola marker, which as you can see with the star, it's faded. It's I don't think it'll last. And then I have a Tombow marker I use for hand lettering, and that's the horseshoe. That's even more faded, so that's a no-go too. And now I brought out the Copic marker, which is a little more opaque, as you can see with the clover, but still not the true color that it comes out of the marker. And finally, I have some craft paint, which actually came out opaque with a couple different layers, and it also scratches off easily, so you can scratch off whatever you paint and reuse it for another holiday. I've got my preferred mediums that I'm going to use, but first I'm going to lay down my messy mat to help protect my work surface. This one cleans up nice and easy. And I've got my Easter egg here. I've decided to go with the shiny one just because I had more of those in abundance. I'll just shake up my paint marker to get that paint moving, and then it comes out so smoothly onto the egg, and it's nice and permanent, although you have to be careful that you might smudge it because it's a little bit wet once you put it on a shiny egg. And I also wanted to show you that you can use a Sharpie to color on your markers. I just didn't have a red Sharpie. I had a red theme going before with testing the supplies. But yes, absolutely, Sharpies do work. They're slightly less opaque than the paint marker. As a comparison, you can see that the one on the left was a paint marker and the one on the right was drawn with a Sharpie. Unofficial symbol for Halloween and all things fall and autumn would definitely be the pumpkin. So I'm going to bring out an orange egg because I think that'll make it a lot easier to create a pumpkin. You can always just paint an entire egg orange if you wish. But I'm going to draw lines all up and down the sides to create my pumpkin. I'm using my paint marker, and as you can see, it comes up well on the pumpkin, but I got some paint on my hands. So to help prevent that, I'm going to rip off a piece of an old egg carton and use it as sort of like a holder for my egg painting and egg drawing. I'm just going to quickly add some vines to the top of my pumpkin. And this little holder will also serve as a temporary drying rack for my little pumpkin egg. Another easy decorating idea for your Halloween egg hunt would be to paint some of your eggs as candy corn. You can do this the precise way or the non-precise way. I'm showing you the precise way first by using some blue painter's tape. This masking tape helps you paint cleaner lines as you paint on your candy corn stripes. It also helps evenly divide each section of white, orange, and yellow. I'm using craft paint here. It's really inexpensive for paint and it works pretty well on these eggs. I'll let this section dry off first, and then once it is dry, I'll just peel off that paint for a nice sharp line across my egg. Now, if you're in a hurry or if it's October 30th and you're like, oh my god, I need to get something going, then you can obviously just like eyeball and hand paint these stripes yourself. Actually, all of these ideas would be great for a day of celebration for Halloween. It's very much Halloween themed, so you can still get creative, the kids get candy. It's a win-win for all. And if you're curious, why, yes, I am one of those weirdos that enjoy the taste of candy corn. For a spookier spin on your Halloween eggs, you can also draw skulls, and it is much easier than it sounds, even for the most non-artistic person. Basically, you take a white egg and then you draw some like squares or circles or whatever for your eyes. Then you put a triangle for the nose and then a line and some dashes for the mouth. Your simple little pastel Easter eggs can also be transformed into Halloween bats. I'm going to make 2 at a time, so I'll fold my piece of light cardstock in half. Then I'll draw a big arch like a rainbow, and then a bunch of little arches for the underside. Then I'll just take out some scissors and cut this out. Since I folded my paper in half before drawing and cutting, I'm going to end up with 2 of these wings. Keeping the scraps from before, I'm going to make little bat ears. And to do this, I just snip off some little triangles from the ends, and I'll just make sure that I have 2 pairs of ears for both my bats. You will need a hot glue gun for this next part. Depending on where you glue your wings, you may want to put your non-perishable candy or whatever treat you have or toy you have inside the egg before you do this part. So you want to put some hot glue on one side of the egg and then just stick the egg in the middle of those rainbow arches we did earlier. And the rainbow arch is now the wings of a bat. While that hot glue is hardening and drying, you can start to work on the bat's ears. So I'm just going to fold a little tab on the bottom of the triangle. I'm going to put some hot glue on those little tabs. That just makes it easier to A, attach to my little bat, and B, not burn my fingers off. So anyway, I'm just carefully placing the glue on those tabs and then sticking it on to my egg. You saw how easily these bats came together. So this project, you can probably make a bunch of different little bat eggs. I think that'd be really cute. And to give these bats some characters, I'm going to quickly draw in some eyes for my bats. Another creepy crawler craft for Halloween is to make a spider out of your egg. To do this, I'll need 2 pipe cleaners, and then I'm going to bend them in half, and then I'll cut them. And that way I have 4 pieces of pipe cleaner now. While my hot glue gun is still hot, I'm going to put some more glue on the back of my egg, and I'll stick all of these pipe cleaners on there in the middle. And when everything is set and dry and hardened, I will flip my egg over to reveal 8 legs now to make a spider. And then I'll just bend each leg so they're more spider-like. Same with the bat. You can give it some eyes and give it a face to give it some character. And now who wouldn't want to find this egg in a Halloween egg hunt? You can turn your eggs into a little ghosts as well. So I have a white egg, and now I'm going to basically make it a skirt. And I do that by drawing a bunch of wavy lines across a piece of copy paper, and then I'll quickly cut that out. And now I'm going to put some hot glue along the bottom piece of this egg. So I'll carefully place that on, and then I'm going to take that strip that I cut out earlier and lay this along the hot glue, and then I'll work in sections to make sure I don't burn my fingers off. Once everything is set and dried, I'll just cut off that excess, and now my ghost has a skirt. Now it has a bottom, which now makes it more ghost-like in appearance. It looks more like Casper. It actually looks like one of those ghosts in Pac-Man. Oh, you could do that too. Next, I'll draw some big ol' eyes onto my ghost, and it also stands up on its own, so it'd make for a great tabletop decoration as well. Those who are familiar decorating for Halloween know this next supply well. It's the fake spider webs that we always break out and stick in the corner, the table, and it's really cheap, and you can stretch it out and stretch it out and stretch it out, and you can really get your money's worth. So to stick this onto my egg, I'm just going to put some double-sided tape all along the sides and the edges of it. Then I'll just peel off all of the backing and then put my egg back together again so I can stretch this material out and lay it over my egg. You can leave that excess material on there to make another ghost, but in my case I wanted it to be a mummy, so I'm just going to cut that excess off. Then I'll just tuck all of the extra onto the egg to make sure it sticks on that double-sided tape. You can also make your mummy egg by using any gauze or bandage tape you may have. For this next mummy egg, I decided to use an inexpensive material that we have all come to cherish the year of 2020, which is toilet paper. Using the same technique as with the spider webbing, I just put some double-sided tape all along the outside of my plastic egg, and now I'm taking strips and pieces of toilet paper and just wrapping it around that tape to make sure everything sticks and stays in place. It might take some squishing and scrunching to get your teepee on there, but it'll start looking like a mummy in no time. Speaking of looking more mummy-like, I'm going to add some googly eyes to my little mummies. I think adding googly eyes to anything just makes it more fun. You can just add your googly eyes to plain old Easter eggs and call it a monster egg. It really is that easy. Speaking of easy Halloween crafts, this next part of the video is for families or parents that may be pressed for time or maybe not into arts and crafts, but you can get your eggs decorated for Halloween by simply just going to the craft store and getting Halloween themed stickers to put on them. This would also be a great craft idea if maybe your kids are a little bit younger, and it creates less mess. If you want your eggs to be a little bit more custom but still easy to decorate, then you can also use a cutting machine if you have one. I happen to have the Cricut, and it already had some great Halloween shapes and icons for me to cut out, and I cut this out of some vinyl. And the good thing about vinyl is that it's easy to peel, it's relatively inexpensive, it comes in a multitude of colors. You can cut out almost any size that you would need for your Halloween eggs. And if you're a real perfectionist, you can also just peel off the vinyl sticker and re-stick it on there to get the placement you want. Because vinyl is temporary, you can also peel all of these stickers off when you're done and use the eggs for Easter. Another fun idea for your Halloween eggs is to make them glow in the dark. I purchased some of these mini glow sticks that fit perfectly inside of a standard Easter egg. And right before you set these out for your egg hunt, you just want to break the glow stick to activate the glow goo liquid. I don't know what's in it. And then once it's glowing, you just stick it inside your egg along with a Halloween treat or candy. This is a great Halloween idea if you're holding your egg hunt at night, or it's just too dark outside, or if there's inclement weather and you have to hold your egg hunt indoors, then you can turn off all the lights, and this is how the eggs look when it's dark, and it is so cool looking. Once all your eggs are finished and prepped, all you have to do is just set them out and release the children. They still get to wear their costumes, they're still collecting candy, they're still having fun. Halloween does not have to be canceled, and hopefully once you look back on the pictures, you'll realize that it wasn't about trick-or-treating, it was about creating memories. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a safe and happy Halloween.